So, I'm reviewing another iCarly episode that actually pulled out another banger. And I will say, season 3 is the best season so far. At times during season 2, it almost got me to stop watching. And if that had happened, I would have never been able to watch season 3. I mostly want to talk about the ending, but I'll get to that in a little bit. But I want to talk about other stuff first. First, I still hate Harper. Number 2, Tinsley. I have not liked this character one bit, but in the finale, she was actually written well. Now the question is, will she remain a supporting character? Because just like in the past, like Pearl for instance, she appeared throughout the season, then be written off in the next. So I do expect that to happen for her. I'd rather have Double Dutch be with Harper. Actually, let me rephrase that. It's the other way around. Harper needs Double D. Though I still feel Double D and Alex Xavier are together. Number 3, Millicent. I'm happy she was only around in small doses, but she went back to her season 1 self in this season, where she was being rude and stuff. She got better in the back half of season 1, and especially in season 2. So I don't know why the writers went back to the old Millicent. By the way, let me just say, I don't like how they handled her mother, Gwen. She was this loving mother and good friends with Carly, but then her return in season 3, she's being rude and annoyed to things. I'm like, what are the writers doing? And I'm still trying to think, was it all justified? Number 4, I don't like Freddie sold his pet company. It really makes season 2 feel like it was a waste of time. Anyway, let me give my grade for season 3 as a whole. 8 out of 10. Now let's talk about the ending to season 3 with Carly's mom showing up. It's about time.
Yes, it is.
Now when it comes to Carly, she doesn't want to talk about 2 things: her mother and the goat. So to see Carly finally open up about it was very emotional, and I very much like that scene with Spencer. Carly told Freddie she had never thought of getting married, but it was really connected to her mother on how she abandoned them. But the unthinkable happened. Mrs. Shay returns. But what bothers me is, why is she appearing at Marissa's wedding? I've seen some people say online, well, maybe she saw her live stream. I don't know. I would have done it a much better way. Now there's 10 things I want to say on how I hope Mrs. Shay is developed in season 4. Number 1, Carly needs to be pissed off and emotional. I want her to say, you abandoned us. Fuck off. I don't want to see you. And then there's times where she's crying and happy she's back. She abandoned Spencer and Carly when they were young. So Carly only has a few memories, while Spencer has a bit more. Mrs. Shay is going to try to explain why she's back. But at first, Carly doesn't want to hear it. It's then, that's where the cussing her out part comes in. She then storms off. Spencer is going to be the moral compass, telling Carly, let her explain why she's back. Let her explain why she abandoned us. I'm sure she has her reasons. Now, I still want Spencer to get his emotional scenes out. He would be like this to Mrs. Shay, while Dad was away doing army stuff and doing his best to stay in our lives. I had not only had to be the brother, but the father and mother to Carly. It reminds me of that supernatural scene in season 12.
I had to be more than just a brother. I had to be a father, and I had to be a mother to keep him safe. And that wasn't fair. I hate you. And I love you. Because I can't help it. You're my mom.
I'm just getting very tensed up just thinking about this. Number 2, with her return, it needs to be a 2-parter. I feel like this story cannot be contained in 22 minutes. It at least needs to be 42 minutes. On top of that, this is great news because there's not going to be a time skip. That's one of the problems I've had with this show. The finale would be something, and in the first episode of the next season, there's a time skip, and they only talk about what happened instead of showing it. With me hoping it's a 2-parter, they could do the time skip in episode 3. Number 3, I wonder what her name is gonna be. It won't be Mrs. Shay because I'm sure her and Mr. Shay are divorced. Now, I do think her name should start with a C, and as for her last name, I see it starting with a V for some reason. For the remainder of the video, her name is gonna be Catherine Shay Nee Vonnegut. Number 4, it might just be me, but I think Catherine needs to be played by a famous big time actor, like what they did by getting Jane Lynch to play Pamela Puckett. I've seen some people throw out Courtney Cox to play Catherine, but her salary is probably going to outweigh the budget of the entire show. So, on the other hand, you kind of don't want that to happen because she's going to be appearing throughout season 4. Not just season 4, but hopefully 5 and 6 too. I'll get to that later. Now, they could go with a known actor or a unknown, but I still stand by what I said because you know they're going to promote the hell out of it, just like Jane Lynch. Carly's mom is appearing for the first time ever. You don't want to miss the season 4 2-part premiere of iCarly on Paramount Plus. I could see it now. Number 5. Throughout season 4, I need her to interact with Colonel Shay, Granddad, and the Dorfmans. Give me some flashbacks of her life. I see Catherine and Granddad not getting along for some reason. Number 6. When it comes to her leaving, only a short few know this. Every Shay family member and Sam. Now you're probably thinking, why wouldn't Freddie know about this? Well, Carly and Sam would have more of a connection with their mom problems. Pamela might have been there, but she wasn't really good to Sam and Melanie, especially Sam. This is why Sam got annoyed when Neville brought her up.
How come we never heard anything about Carly's mother?
All right.
I could see this scene going down. Freddie will say to Carly, why didn't you tell me? But you told Sam? Look, I might have laughed at you, seeing you get embarrassed by your mom, but I secretly envied her because she was so protective. Still is. I just felt you would have never got it. If the writers want to, they could bring up Freddie's dad here. You don't think I know about abandonment? My father left me. Well, he really left my mom, but still. Now, in season 1, episode 11, I Rule the Day, Freddie said that he might take the bus and leave. Well, to me, that's how I think Freddie's dad left. He took the bus and was never seen again.
Your mom only gives you $8 a month?
She's afraid if she gives me more, I'll buy a bus ticket and leave her.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, not really.
Number 7. Why is she here? The top 3 suggestions I have seen when it comes to Carly's mom is she was dead, she's a spy, or she abandoned the family. Now, Nick Rewind did a video on this, and I suggest you go check that out. It'll be in the description box. Now, if you ask me, I want them to go with the spy route. I think that would be the most entertaining. Now, season 4 could be the darkest and serious season if they go the natural route, and that's she's abandoned them. What if they do the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where Will Smith's dad returned and then left? They could do that. I decided, why don't they combine some? While she is a spy, her cover job is working at a grocery store, and the grocery store she met Mr. Shay. They got married and eventually had Spencer and Carly. Catherine Shay would do her spy work in secret while keeping up the grocery store cover. She would then dial back on her missions so Mr. Shay could continue to be in the army while she takes care of the kids. One day, when Spencer is 16 and Carly is 3 years old, Catherine has to leave Seattle as by request of her agency as her enemies are getting closer to finding out where she lives. It's then she leaves a note to Mr. Shay, Spencer, and Carly, and from there, she was never seen again. That's why you never saw any photos of her in the house, because she took them. That's why Carly was always so awkward in the revival pilot, talking about her. All that Carly has of her is a note and a few memories. Now, Catherine's enemies stopped pursuing her because her agency took them down. But even with that, she was gone for so long. So, why is she here? She wants to get accepted back into the family. Boom. There you have it. Now you're probably thinking, wouldn't have the Shay family met the grandparents from Catherine's side of the family? Well, I'm gonna say they were spies as well. Catherine Vonnegut is not even her real name. What is her real name? You guys and girls can think of that. This will add more drama for Spencer's arc with his mom, because he's gonna be like, did you even really love us? Is anything we know about you true? Are those even really our grandparents? No. But 95% of what you know about me is real. I'm happy to introduce you to your real grandparents. Plus, me falling in love with your father was only supposed to be a cover for a few months, and then I was supposed to leave him. But I truly fell in love with him, and I stayed for as long as I could. Now, some people say season 3 or season 4 should be the end. Me, I say it should be season 6, just like the original. But with this whole writer strike, who knows? I said earlier that she should not only appear in season 4, but 5 and 6 as well. Because why I think they're gonna have Carly and Catherine be at odds at each other during season 4 and then make up by the end. I'm not having that happen until season 5. If they get a big time actor, they're only going to be in one season. But if they get a known or unknown, they should definitely appear more. And season 6, actually, let me back up before I say it. When it comes to Freddie, season 4, I'm going to have them move in together. Season 5, Freddie proposes to Carly or vice versa. And season 6, it's the build up to the Freddie wedding. Bars. Sure. There will be obstacles along the way. Maybe they call it off for a short time. Freddie's first wife comes back. Stuff like that. But in the end, in the series finale, the wedding is happening and Catherine returns to walk Carly down the aisle. It would be very emotional. Then it's revealed Carly is pregnant and then the series ends. I'm having Catherine Vonnegut as a series regular for seasons 4 and 5. And for 6, she returns in the last 2 episodes. Number 8, when Catherine and Carly are reconnecting, Catherine's gonna ask what her life has been like. Carly's gonna tell her a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then she's gonna bring up the goat. Catherine's gonna be like, what did the goat do to you, Carly?
We don't talk about the goat.
Catherine won't drop it though, as she really wants to know. And so Carly decides to whisper it into her ear. Catherine then gives a bad facial expression. While I said in the past, I want the revival to answer this question, at the same time, I'm not opposed to it never be answered. Number 9, this would very much excite people, and that is Catherine will be the one to explain Spencer's firepower. So let's look at it like this. It's the season 4 finale. Spencer and Catherine are having one final scene in Spencer's apartment, talking. When they get done talking, she leaves. Spencer then accidentally sets something on fire. Catherine walks back into the room and takes out the fire with her hands. She does this by soaking in the fire into her hands, and we get some awesome imagery. Spencer is shocked and confused on how she did that. Catherine just replies by saying, let's just say, son, you got that from my side of the family. And then she leaves with season 4 ending. This right here could not only top the season 3 finale, but be one of the best iCarly finales ever. Now sure, it's gonna give you more questions, though you at least know where Spencer's firepower comes from. You still need to leave that supernatural element a mystery. Now, do I expect them to have a season 4 through 6 that has long-term booking and not just one season of storylines? No. I won't give the writers that. It's a sitcom. It should be that way. Imagine doing storylines in season 4, but don't get finished until next season, setting up questions that don't get answered until season 5 and or 6. Or tidbits, meaning you say something then and there, then on the rewatch, you can see the writer setting up the groundwork. For many years, I've seen people make their fan fiction stories about how they will introduce the mother. I have big hopes for this. I've been waiting to see Mrs. Shay for a long time. And if they fail, they done. Oh man, they done. Now let me know in the comment section, what are your hopes for Mrs. Shay? What do you think her name will be? And will her reasoning for abandoning the Shay family be good or not? But with that being said, get your fingers up and say it with me. Carly, what do you have to say about your mom?
Let's go back to my dad.
Okay then. Bye.